Hello, everybody. Ryan Carpenter here with P45 Knuckle Down Golf. That's right here in Warner Robins, your best and elite destination for golf instruction, for club fitting, anything you need. We got it. We can get it going. And best time of the year. It's cold outside. It's rainy. It's gross. Grass ain't growing. Ground is hard. Doesn't matter. I had a fellow this morning reach out. And, I think I'll get ready, come down this spring. I said, no, you do not, sir. That is, you are welcome to do that. But I'll tell you right now, that's why we got thegolfpub.com as my partner, because we don't need spring warmth in order to get this thing going. In fact, I explained, hopefully, in a very simple way, you want to be ready for spring, not starting in spring. And so we'll see. But, yeah, that's the whole thing right here. We've got the facility to work out of. I have all my years, and I was explaining to him too, my 8 years of golf, 7 or whatever it was, of golf tech, all the winter months back in the day, working at the private clubs, and we had our basements and indoor facilities back then. Wintertime is the best time to develop, and I'm going to bring a lot of this into play here today because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but there's a time frame where a big part of this process is key, and you don't want to be getting out there and getting excited about the weather popping and still have a steep attack this and a flip to do that and based on no turning. So now I got to do this. So you don't want to wait till then. You want to get through as much of the development process needed, and so that you're firing away on a range and you're not thinking about any of this stuff. So now's the time. Get the evaluation done. Get in here and get started, and that way you're prepared for spring. See, I always tell players, and it doesn't make sense until you've been with the program for a while, I want to know what your first 2 scores are in the spring. That tells me who you are as a player. Not at the end of the year when you've had a whole series of months to play and play and play and play. I mean, that's great. We want to get better, of course. But I want to know what April 1 and April 2, your first 2 rounds, let's say, back to back, what was the scores? And break the dang things down so that you can tell me a real story is the other part. And that's where my custom stat sheet comes into play. So anyhow, we got it all right here. You don't got to go to no Atlanta, no flying to there's somebody in this damn town that flies all the way to the coast for lessons, for crying out loud. Whatever. I get it. Now, maybe you might be going down to the performance center, and that's great. And I can understand the allure of that, of course. It's fantastic. They've done a great. Well, first of all, it was started by Davis Love III, for crying out loud. I mean, if we had that kind of backing in this area, hell, we'd have some amazing facilities too. We don't have that kind of backing right now. So I'm working towards developing basically the exact same thing right here in Central Georgia. It's just going to take time because we don't have the kind of capacity built up yet. But it's moving in the right direction. I'll tell you that right now. But the whole point is that you don't have to have the elite of facilities to still get the job done and still get through what they're doing. I know what they're doing down there. I've done it for, the last 20 years. So what they're doing is not a secret. It's just they have a fancier, nicer facility. That's for sure. But that being said, we can still get the job done right here. I've got every bit of information, knowledge, tools that are necessary that everybody else got. There's no secret tools out there. Everybody got the same stuff, and it's all right here, and we can get you in and going. And I would say this is pretty simple. It's based off of realistic. We're going to talk about realistic here in a minute too. We're going to talk about realistic. We're going to talk about the Sony Open. We're going to talk about something that Michael Breeden gang had on just this weekend, and then this article. Well, hopefully I get through all that quickly. So, but back to what I was saying there, realistic expectations combined with proper processes done appropriately and time to get through are that's the magic the spell, the witch's brew. That there is no secret. It's just doing it right, plain and simple. So that's how I can guarantee success. You have to do it, a certain way. There's just no way around that. You do have to put in time. You do have to put in effort. You do have to develop. But now's the time. Don't wait till spring. That's the point. So Sony Open. So really fun event wrapping up last night. And if you was watching it along with the football, of course, it's always fun watching and seeing Hawaii this time of year, of course. It's so beautiful out there. And just so many things. And here's the thing I want to say. So I kind of labeled the video around this. If you're not watching every golf shot of a tour event, and that's okay. If you don't want to, I understand. Unless you're like us, boring as hell. I get it. But here's the thing. You can't take ESPN or Golf Channel highlight, reel where the whole damn 4 days is squashed into like 9 shots and then look at that top guy who walks away with the trophy and go, well, that's golf. No, it's not. That's only that guy that week, a handful of shots who happen to put it all together and then walk away with big trophy money, right? So that's why it's alluring to watch that and to see that part. But that's not real golf. That's just not realistic. And people sit there and kind of go, well, look at that. I should be able to do that. No. Are you insane? No. And so one of the things that we hear all the time is, well, I just want to come in and be consistent. I'm like, look, I got news for you. So do they. You watch just the back 9 from yesterday. In fact, I got it on right now. I'm rewatching it. All these 4 or 5 fellas here at the top who are all in contention, at least a couple of times throughout the back 9, hit the ball so bad you thought that they just started playing golf yesterday, okay? We got balls landing on cart paths and sitting there, ball almost going OB over here. And then beyond that, not being able to hit it straight consistently, we can take the winner alone. I mean, there were more than this, trust me, but you go watch them putt. Nick Taylor, fantastic young player, man. He's coming up right now hot, but he missed 3. I think it was 3 total putts yesterday. Missed 3 putts under 4 feet. Now he made the ones when they counted, so that was how he won. But I'm telling you, people walking the door going, I never miss a putt. Like that's not no. He's the best players in the world. Like it's just ridiculous. So you've got to get a real good, realistic expectation on this game up here. Otherwise, you're going about it wrong. And that's a big part of what has to take place through the learning process is we have to we're not just working on golf swings. We are completely trying to help develop, get people to the point where we're seeing an appropriate way to play the game. And so I just want you to watch sometime, take an hour and really watch and notice every shot by every player that they show. Sometimes they don't show them. That's the other problem. And really get a full, complete, total understanding of what's going on out there. So congrats to Nick Taylor. That was a good win for that young man to start the season. He's moving up. So, but there's so many. The Echeverria, he's been on a tear, working through. If I remember, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, he was kind of the. I think it still exists. The Central America. I don't remember what they call it, something different now. American Tour. Then on to the DP World Tour. Had some real good success over there. Then on the Corn Ferry Tour. So, he's a fella that has just consistently been moving up. And so to see him at the top yesterday was no surprise. Same with Jaeger. He kind of came about the same route. Well, he was pretty much European, I believe, but maybe a little Asian tour mixed in. But these young fellas are just boom, 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 and they're in what used to be more like 5 years and 6 and 10 years of time, hard progression. you're seeing some of these players shoot up within about a year and a half. So it's interesting. But then you got the PGA Tour trying to hold them back as well, which I don't know, whatever. So it's but it's a fun tournament. So all right, so realistic. Michael Breed. If y'all don't know Michael Breed, I don't know how. However, that's okay. He a golf professional at Augusta National for a long time. Wrong side. Masters, Augusta National for a long time. Became a great teacher, of course, and National Teaching Award, so on and so forth. And I got 3 National Teaching Awards. So not the one he got, but I still got him. Anyways, we're talking very, very unusual for him, because I think it's because when you take him off of the main stage, right? The Golf Channel, the 6 p.m. Michael Breed, fix your golf game. Woo! All that crap that you hear when you turn on the damn Golf Channel and for the golf fix and all that crap. More appropriate, I would call it, communication vessel of the radio and the podcasting and stuff. And him and Duchard went through and discussed. They said process, so same thing. There is a process needed, and then they really, really went into nice details. And I was trying to find it. I'll try to find the exact link. I don't think the recording has been posted yet. Is the problem? But anyhow, some of the most basic things that I use in my core teaching, and then hand to players for their improvement process. He hit every single one of them on the head. And it's what I try to tell people is like, look, there is nothing about P45 golf that I just sat down and made up one day. Not a single bit, nothing. I have spent 25 years studying and chasing every bit of information I could possibly get my hands on. Every great instructor I could learn from, books, magazine, everything that is under the sun that I could try to digest, I've done it. And I'm still doing it. I got 2 top 50 Golf Digest instructors that I'm learning from still, but learning more how to teach than how to teach golf. Those are 2 different things. And it's fairly astonishing to me, because these things are not used in regularity across the board, which is fine, but I do it for a reason. I had all the years at Golf Tech, and I had all the time spent working with people, and I know what is required to guarantee success. That's what this boils down to. And it is astonishing to me how many people either A, they aren't willing to maybe learn about that, or B, even if they have learned about it, they actually walk away from it. It's crazy. But it's your game. You do what you do. That's how it goes. But anyways, it was a very enjoyable listen, and little pinpoints of things. He's talking about, okay, the setup of the camera, this, and then, okay, now you're at this phase. So, at this point, it's more about, learning, seeing, feeling, doing than crushing a ball 300 yards. And so taking the speed out and proper, repetitions for learning. And then what are the phases of going from new skill introduction to middle phase development experience to finally beginning to get to the acceptance phase and the automation zone. And so he went through a lot of great detail. The point is this: he literally went through and pinpointed everything I teach every single day when I walk in the facility to start working with my students. This isn't stuff that I made up. This is stuff that the best instructors in the world do all the time. And so all really I'm trying to do here is build that same process into something that's going to be available to anybody who really wants to get better at golf around here. So, but it was amazing listen and fantastic. And, they got a pretty good show for the most part. There's entertainment, of course, but they do tend to stop the entertainment vessel and dive into some of the other stuff. And so, anyways, and I did a, I don't know where I put it. I think I put it in the last one, the big headed drivers show. And there's also some crap going on out there. And I don't. Did he hit? No, it wasn't Breed. It was the MGS guys that hit on the spine and the tuna. I got to find out about that from Brandon, by the way. So, anyways, so where does all this go? Well, I don't have any, big magical pills for today, but I will say this. Yesterday, okay, I had a no spring chicken, 71-year-old working on, body movement. I would say at this stage, really, as he hitting through a ball, there's not hardly any, real true body motion. It almost stands still as he's swinging his arms and flipping the club through the ball. And so we got to breaking it down, understanding it and feeling it. And hey, it was a little sore there and a little tug here. Yeah, there was. And so we got to the point of talking about, well, there is a realm of conditioning. In fact, again, like, subscribe, share, please. And on top of it, if you are out there watching, listening, if you know of anybody in the area who is TPI certified, especially, so it might be a what I call sports docs. There's got to be some kind of sports docs around here, right? If so, let me know. And especially if they're TPI certified, we may be launching him in a different direction because, as we age, for those of us who have at all, we understand the body just don't do what the brain tells it to near as good as it used to. So there is a level of conditioning that comes into play in this here golf thing. And I posted the other day, I said, what's the worst thing you can do for your game? And it was a trick question, kind of, and on purpose. But the answer was nothing. That's the worst thing you can do. Like, the best thing you can do is at least get up in the morning or in the night watching the close of the Sony Open, pardon me, and get up and at least, move your body as if you were swinging a club, or more important, get tested and measured, know specifically where your strengths and weaknesses really lie, and then get the customized type of conditioning exercises and stretches to do every day instead. And you'll be shocked because I've seen it. Hell, I've been through it myself. When we introduced our first conditioning program at Golf Tech, we all got tested and we were just blown away at some of the results. And then we all got put through our own for a while training. And it'll blow your mind how much better you feel and how much better your body moves if you do very golf focused drill, practice exercises, stretches, and things, that can be done in here. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I do yoga. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And I'm sure it helps. But what these fitness experts are going to tell us is that when you're doing your little thingies and whatnots, they're not as focused as we need them to be for the way we want the body to move for the golf swing. And so, anyways, long story short, after we got working on it, and this is a good hour later, we come to the conclusion. He thought, I don't know if I can move like this. I said, I hear you. We'll find out. So we got to get as much as we can. And really, by the end of the hour, we found out, you can move just fine. You just don't know how to move like this. And that was the difference. As we started to work through and actually learn and understand proper torso tilt and turning and how the combination of movements and how the leg is built and, bones connected, obviously, and things. And without this movement, that can't happen. And so it just took some time to work through it is all it really took. That's it. It wasn't about, I'm old and I can't, and luckily that's not his mindset, thank God, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to. But instead it became, hey, well, let's see how much we can get, how good we can get it. And now we got a process in place for the next week or two to go out every day at home. There's specific things to do when he gets into the lesson bay, things to do, and then so on and so forth, and get ready for hopefully the next lesson. So it's very rare It does exist, but it's very rare that I've ever faced a situation where it's like, well, I literally can't do this. Range of motion can be a limitation for sure. The second part, the speed at which a player can apply a motion, that's a limitation for sure. As we age, we might not be able to rotate, exactly the way we want to, like 100%. And I use some fellas on the teaching software like like Fuzzy Zeller for one, and like Craig Stadler. I'm surprised they don't have daily, but you can even use daily to some degree. But the thing is that when and I'll try to find this here as an example-ish thing. No, I don't want that. Is that, well, while we can put them on the camera and measure them with the sensors and everything, we can actually say, well, okay, he's about 44 degrees open, and young tour average guy is probably closer to 50. Hey, pretty dang close. I mean, ain't like it's way off or nothing, right? And so the question becomes, okay, well, what's the difference? Well, if I found it here, I'll pull it up in a minute here. It's, I don't know if we can see that. That's probably a bad translation. So that's pretty decent. He's still turning. He's still got his hips open a ton as he's hitting the dang golf ball there. And that ain't young fuzzy. That's not, going and playing the PGA Tour at the age of 24. That's a couple years back here, fuzzy swinging a club. So, he's just learned how to do it, and he does it every day. Now, it's the other part, right? So it's not about the inability. Now, can he do it at the rate of speed that Ludwig Aberg got? No, of course not. So that's why he's not going to hit it 330 no more. Not that he ever did. But it's just it's not an impossible thing. It can be learned. It's not hard to learn it. It's hard to develop it because it takes some time and some effort to put that time in. But then there's the thing to be said that, okay, well, he also knows from his other playing companions over time, he don't want to stop doing it because if he takes time off, it's harder to get it back, especially as we age. And the more time you take off, man, it is hard to get it back. So even if it's swinging like at a home, in a simulator, in your garage or a net, heck, you could be playing with your kids, right? Get like some of them. I call them the Wii games because the Wii, I think, was the first one. There's others now with weird joysticks and things, but you're playing a game on a damn TV basically, but you're still swinging. So just getting that movement, man, it's just so important. And of course, always, I mean, the one thing we leave out more than anything is conditioning. We should all be doing that, but to each their own, I guess. But anyway, so anyone out there saying, nah, I can't, I'm old, I'm short, I'm fat. Well, John Daly's fat and he moves just fine. So it's, are you going to and willing to learn how, which is really the key to getting you to where you're a different player someday. So, yeah, so the article, I don't know if it's going to get printed. I guess what I'll have to do is maybe Facebook and Twitter it for now. But I put out an article that hopefully gets printed, and then I kind of talked about it in the YouTube for sure. But you got to be wary of these big-headed drivers, folks. And go watch Aloha or Big Head Drivers Good. There's the title. Go back to some old YouTube, and you can listen to it on your own. I'm just giving you the heads up that not all they're cracked up to be. So, anyways, watch some of the real tournaments. Get your eyes on some real, not short, just a couple shots. See what Tour Pro's really doing, and then sit back and don't be so dang unrealistic about what you're trying to get out of your game, because unrealistic expectations is the first road to not getting better. I can tell you that right now. When realistic expectations are finally in place, it opens up the door to the possibility of some really darn good improvement. So make sure you get that set, folks. As always, like, subscribe, share, please. Helps me a lot. Go to the Twitter, Facebook. I got my www.p45knuckledowngolf.com, you name it. And like I said, right now, don't wait. I'm going to get started in spring. Bad idea. Get started now. Let's do this thing. Let's get you ready for spring. There is a little bit of time. January the 13th. Time's ticking. It's going away. April 1's going to be here real fast. We want to be prepared. All right. For now, Ryan Carpenter, P45 Knuckle Down Golf. Take care.